Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and you're watching CGHOW video. Today I created this fire material in UE5 and this is the original material I created on a planar and I just placed it many times. I duplicate this planar. This looks something. So I just to present this, although this is the final output of my fire material and I will create it again from scratch. And if you haven't subscribed my YouTube channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please like, share and comment, and let's start this tutorial.
CGHOW. CGHOW.
First of all, subscribe my YouTube channel and also click on bell icon so you will receive all new video notification. So these are all planars I just placed many times and this is my material. Let me just make the preview black. So this is how it looks. And you can also use this as a trail on your ribbons if you want. It will look cool. See? If you will use it as a trail, it look cool. See? I'm not applying it on ribbon. You can do that. I'm not gonna use Niagara for this tutorial. This is just a material based tutorial. And this is my material. So from starting, if I create again a material, a test fire, and let me make this window bigger. Okay, on a planar, I use unlit material and I'll just use opaque just to show you. So you have texture coordinate and shift C for mask and you can preview it. Okay, then you can take a different channels like green or red. Okay, so this is a gradient from here to here. This is black, white, and to make both side black, to make a strip, you can use Sine. Preview. And Sine value is 1, you need to make it 2. So your gradient will be from both side. And to make it thinner, you can use step. This will be very sharp. If you want a faded, you can use power. Okay, so I'll show you both things. So with power, it will be faded, but you can change the width of this. If you use step, it will be just integer value. So okay, and you can invert this by taking this 1 minus. So let's say you have a step, it is good to visualize, then we will use power eventually. So you have this step and you have now a strip and you want to wave this strip. This is just a straight strip. So what you need to do, because you are using this texture coordinate, this is your UV and I want to edit this UV by a gradient, panning gradient. So how I will do that? Let's say I have again a texture coordinate. Again I have a mask and this time I have a green channel. If I preview and if I add time on it, time will keep adding points on this gradient, so it will be very bright because time will just keep going on. So you need to use Sine. So Sine will make it like a curve from -1 to 1. If I preview this, you have this. And you can also edit your sine wave thickness. Let's say you have just one, because I'll show you my original material also, so you can check all the settings here, and I'll put this original material on my Patreon also. So this is how you can do. So you have now these strips and I have this gradient, sorry, the strip, and this strip is with this UV. So I want to edit this UV. So if I add this wavy thing in this one, what will happen? It will completely distort it. So I want to control the distortion. So before adding, I will multiply this, and this will be how much distortion I want. 1 means 100%, 0 means no distortion. It will be strip. 0.5, 50% distortion. So I will use just 0.2 or 0.1 or 0.1, 0.15. So you have a strip that is wavy. And now if you want to make a gradient here, again I'll take a texture mask, and I'll take the green channel, and if I preview, this is black and white, so I can use a Lerp. And in Lerp, because the values are 0 and 1, it is still a gradient and black and white gradient. So I'll take two colors by pressing 3 with keyboard and mouse click, connect it here and make it like a dark red, 0.5, dark red, and orangish, orange. So you have this gradient, and I want red up. So I will just switch the color, so red will be up. And then because you have a gradient here, you have a black and white value here, you can just multiply this with your gradient, color gradient, and it will just cut that out. Okay, and then what you can do, you can just let me delete this power, we will use that later. So I'll just copy this whole thing, copy. You can also make the function if you want. And in this one, let me preview. In this one, I'll make the strip very thinner, 0.9, and maybe I'll change some values here. So like this time, so if I multiply this time with 1.5, it will be faster, and I can also edit this 0.2. Okay, and also I'll change the color. This will be like orangish, then this will be yellowish, and then you can add these both together. So you have two gradients, but this second one is out of this main, so I want to mask that, so I have this gradient, so I will again multiply with this, so now it will be under that like this. And if you want to now fade it from top, so we had this gradient here that we use for color, so I can multiply this whole thing with this. So this is now fading. And of course, instead of this step, you can use power. So let's say I use power here and just delete these. So this is 2, I'll use maybe 4. I just use step just to visualize it better. And same here, I will use power instead of this, and the value will be higher than this one. It has 4, so it will be like 6 or 7, so it will be thinner. So you have a, this is already a wavy like fire, and you can do a lot of thing with this. Like let's say you have this thing here, start preview, and this is just moving on the same speed. So what you can do, this is multiplier of distortion. So what I'll do, I'll take a sine, sorry, just copy this one and then preview this, so it will be black or white. So I want 0.15 value, so I will multiply it with 0.15 and then connect it here. So now this time this will be slightly, random things. Can you can also multiply time before using it, so you can make it slower. See, so these things you can do, and you can also use a power node here to make the whole thing thinner like this. So already looking good. And now I use a texture. So after this, so I had a texture actually for drops, and I just used that here and it was looking cool. So drop, I had this texture, and you can experiment with different textures. So I just drag it here and I pan this, and then for tiling, if I preview this, this is going up, and let's say you have 2 and 2 tiling. So now if you subtract from this, so it will cut your overall fire like this, and you can play with tiling and all things like this. So it is slightly stylized fire. So these are the thing I did, and let's check my original fire. So that's almost same, maybe slightly values are different. So I'll just save this, and this is torch fire is my original fire. So absolutely same thing. So here you can see I have used step initially, then I use power. So if I preview, I have this first strip, and here I have this sign to randomize this, and then again I duplicated it, and this is my second strip, slightly thinner, adding these together and then multiplying it with it, so it is masking it. Then here I am again, and one thing also you can do, I'll show you. So here I have power, then I am subtracting this texture, so it looks like this. One thing also you can do, after that you have this result, you can multiply and use floor, then set floor and saturate, so it will be very sharper if you want to use. And if you use that after this node, how it will look like, yeah. So you can use also this if you want, but I like this one. So you can use it for torch or for your trail, ribbon trail. Okay. And also you can use these as a parameter in Niagara if you're using in Niagara, and then randomize the whole thing. It will look really good. If you will use per particle, you can randomize the parameters, and lots of nodes can be reused, so it will look slightly simpler. Like we have lots of texture coordinates and all have one value, so we don't require actually to use here, we can just use one. Okay, here and here and here. Okay, and this styling has two, so let it be. Then also time, you can use the same time on the both side. So whatever parameters are same, you can just change that. Okay, so that's it. I'll put the file on my Patreon. You can download, and I hope you learn something, and you can try it with Niagara ribbons. Look really cool. It will look good. Definitely, it will look good. So thanks for watching. Keep learning, and bye bye.